Hello, friends. I'm just letting you hear the crow sounds in the background. It's very appropriate today. I think that the crows are so active because, oh boy, there's a lot of shadow activity that I see going on in this chart. And in addition, I see the resurgence of faith, a connection with God, and even Christianity. What I'd like to do with the crows joining us today is do a quick review of key changes in the chart, and then I'm just laughing because of them. And then I will go through through the energy of the chart. There is so much to say. There's so much that I want to share about this. The key changes in the chart from the last video are this obvious cross formation here. It's very strong in the subconscious area, but also in the unconscious area of the range of hertz that relates to human brain waves. This right here, this area here is about 7.83, the natural frequency of the Earth. The other key elements here are these lines lighting up at the low frequencies, and then this large ray of light and the post in it that goes all the way down. I want to take a look at that really quick, but there's almost like a mirror effect here where you have this range of frequencies light up for a certain number of hours and then about the same on this side. Not quite as lit. The first episode has a stronger outpouring of the white resonance than the second, but there is a mirror type. You see the two lines here, and then a space from the center, In some ways it could almost look like a shield. I just want to focus in on this line that goes all the way down, and see how this is more gray than white. See, that's white. See, this is gray. It's also gray but blue. There's these little dark spots on it that turn to bright red the lower we get down. Look at this. It's almost dark purplish energy with the blue beside it. Goes all the way down and grounds down here where there's almost another cross image. Isn't that fascinating? At the top of the chart, the day before and the bottom. Interesting here. Like there's another one there. Okay. And then this is really interesting because this is in the gamma range here the hertz range here at the bottom of the chart, which is actually the higher numbers. Just because see, I'll show you here. There, we're looking at 40. Okay. Right there. Okay, so that's about 40. That's in the gamma range, which is our spiritual connection. And look at this. This actually matches with the other stuff I'm seeing in the chart, but this is an upside down cross image. And this one is more equidistant. Okay, it's more even. And then it's tinged with this gorgeous layers of this lighter blue. And same here, there's a transmuting, but I think that, okay, so this goes with some of the other stuff I'm seeing in the chart. Let me get to that in a sec. All right, let's go through the black charts and the numbers behind them. So this is the frequency ranges, and what I saw here was that there's an expansion, okay? We talked about it yesterday that since those large waves of white resonances, the movements in the frequencies have gotten a lot tighter and shorter, quicker, closer together. Okay. But you see an expansion right here, and right here. So it just caused me to wonder if there's going to be a breakout of some kind. And that breakout very well may be this focus that happened in the chart. But we'll see what happens in the next couple days. Now, the other thing that's fascinating here is that in the amplitudes, you see that the chart spiked. The resonances, amplitude spiked. The yellow was at 38. The white was at 31. This is the second time in the past couple weeks, maybe second or third time, that we've seen the yellow. No, it's the second time. The third time it was equal. to the spike in the white resonance, but this time it is above, and this is unusual. Something to note. Very, very interesting. Now, when we go to the qualities, amplitude is the strength, the force of power of the energy, and then the qualities is like the clearness, okay, of the frequencies. If we were comparing this, an analogy using sound, it would be a clear note versus a distorted sound, okay? So the higher the quality, the clearer the true essence of the resonance is coming across. So what we have here is spiking in yellow and in green, and the white and the red are lower and more quiet. The interesting thing about the green is that the spikes have been to 21, so we're not at our full power. So I view the green as representing the connection with humanity. The typical spikes are at 31, so this is interesting here. All right, that's the review of the key chart changes. Now I'd like to discuss energy. Okay, so let's talk about the energies at play here. In my last video, I discussed this image here and what was going on. But what I just want to review here, because it relates to today's energy in the chart, I see this as anger simmering. There's triggering that is highly, highly likely in this environment. I really want to do some education on how does our own energy move in our own energy field. So this is a little bit, it's related to the Schumann, but it's broader. I want to give us tools to take greater control over how we manage our own human energy and an understanding of how that flows through our field. Okay, so basically what you have here, if you look at this image as a example of the chakra system, so this is a second way of interpreting the energies of the chart. Okay, one of them is brain waves, and now we're going to do chakras. So here you've got the pineal gland, the sixth chakra. Here you've got the fifth chakra. Here you've got the fourth chakra, third, and then in here second and first, and then the seventh and eighth would be up in here. Where you can see no activity going on in terms of being lit up. So this is coming from an unconscious place, okay? The light in the area where the red and yellow in the chakras is really lit up. It's coming from our subconscious, okay? So this is like our theta waves in terms of the brain hertz, and we're going to be speaking this out, and our heart is engaged, okay? Not from a higher perspective where the soul connection is in the heart, but from a lived human experience where there's anger that's been building up. And here's the triggers here. Okay, the triggers are in the past. Okay, so if this is a person, the person is moving forwards in time. Okay, we're moving forwards in time, but the trigger is in the past. This is how energy works, and it's how interdimensional energy works, because the dimensional state of this energy is much lower and denser than than the light of awareness. I'm just laughing. And that's why when we get triggered, it comes from an unconscious place. That's why when we get triggered by, with anger, we just, bam, it's immediate, okay? And the reason that is because we bypass the brain, we bypass the emotions, and we go straight to the lived experience, the detritus of that, which is in the fourth dimension of the energy field, the emotions and the thoughts, okay, that are covered over, okay? Because some of these black dots in here, I've talked about how this is, dark forces energy and stuff, but it's also where we are unconscious in our own energy field, okay? And when you get to that and see how much of that energy there is here, okay? Whoa, the chart even wobbles from it. But anyway, I'm just riffing here with the energy and my own spiritual guidance. But what I'm saying is that triggering is highly likely here. And it's so fascinating because I was trying to do my inspired energy video and I got in a fight with someone. yesterday, okay, and it pissed me off so much. Now I'm just letting I'm letting the experience flow here, because we're all human. I'm human, okay? Can I read and interpret energy and connect with soul and all this stuff? Yes, but I also have my lived human experience, my living human experience, okay? And this is valid and important. Okay, God is on the earth to have this experience. The Creator incarnated us to have this experience. It's not unimportant, or we wouldn't be here. It's important. Okay, the Creator learns through us. Ta-da! Thanks, angels. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I I went and did, my recentering, but my body was still, I still had the emotions. And so it's hard to create, right? In the way that I want to create when I had to attend to myself. Okay. And this is why my second video didn't get done yesterday. But you know what happened? As I looked through and reviewed all the energy flows between me and the other person, and when you're coming at things intending that the highest good unfold, intending that I intend that my soul energy flows through me to the fullest extent possible, in every moment, right? I intend that everything be turned to its highest good. Okay, and I intend this with love, and I love the other person, right? I intend love for the other person, okay? And if I can't do it in the moment, I intend it at the higher levels between us, at the soul level, that, and there's no vows, there's no cords, it's just an intention that at the higher levels, I choose to act with unconditional love. In the moment, sometimes unconditional love means setting really strong boundaries, and you know what? Someone's feelings may get hurt, and if they get hurt, that's their responsibility to be in charge of their own feelings, okay? Because if I feel bad because I just abused someone, or if I feel bad, this is hypothetical, okay? And I'm speaking in a space of sacred discharge, imbued by the violet flame over this, and back over my words, which creates an energy of neutrality. So I'm not transmitting these lower tones or anger or anything like that. I'm telling a story, okay? But the fact is that if I were to invade someone's space and they boot me out, and then I want to feel hurt feelings over that, that's my problem. Okay, that's my issue. And that person who set their boundaries with me is in their full right to do so. Okay, so these are things, as more sensitive people, as empaths, as energy workers, as Christians, as being raised with spirituality. Sometimes we're told to just let people kick our ass, and then we're just gonna love them anyway and deal with it. And the fact is that we need to look at where we are responsible here, okay? If I'm coming from a victim perspective, but I was at fault, okay? Now, I have had some interactions over recent days because this is going on, okay? This anger simmering thing is going on. And it's been fascinating to me because I've interacted with some people where the projection and the denial was just so incredible. It's just so amazing. Where, a person says a sentence and I say a sentence, and they just can't accept that. But I'm speaking from my guidance. Okay, I'm not speaking from an intent to, call someone a poo-poo head, for example. Okay, but I'm just speaking clearly what my truth is, and I have my guidance to do that. And the other person can't even hear it, and then repeats back to me that the conversation that just occurred in the last 3 minutes was completely different. And what that tells me is, now it's not that they're a liar, okay? Sometimes that could be the case. But in the cases that I've been seeing over the last few days, what it is that person doesn't want to go to that truth because the recognition of that truth is too much. Whatever the emotions that truth would cause within them, accepting it, it's just too much. And for that I have the utmost compassion for the person. And because I'm where I'm at now, and I realized immediately this is what was happening, I backed off. But I wasn't going to deny the truth. And the person said to me, no, you just said X. And I said, look, right now we are experiencing two alternate realities. You have your reality where that was the conversation. But I'm not going to deny that in my reality, I didn't say that. And in my reality, I know what I said. And the fact is, okay, now this can be done with love. When your intention is the things I just mentioned, that at the higher levels, I ask that unconditional love be at play here. I ask for my guidance from the highest light, my spiritual guides, the highest light, my higher self, my soul level guidance, okay? I ask that what is occurring, please be turned. Please, God, be turned to the highest good. I didn't try to force that person and rub their nose into truth, okay? Like, how in the older times or lower levels of dog training, for example, people take their dog and they drag it up and they put the dog's nose in the poop in the house. Don't poop in the house again. Smell your own poop. Okay, what is that going to do? I've trained dogs, and that's not the way that it works. Okay, it doesn't do that. What's happening there is an angry person is acting out their anger. So what I did was I just backed off, let it go. I just said, look, it's okay. I like you. I love you. This is fine. I'm okay with this. There doesn't have to be an argument here. And let's talk about something else now. Okay. Now that's what I'm talking about, this triggering. Okay. So I could have gotten triggered there, but I chose not to, because I already had the light of awareness. Okay, so this light of awareness can be two things. Okay, because we live in a world where there's duality. This can be the activity is in our subconscious, but it can also be that I have consciously chose to bring a light to that, and thus the action unfolded as I described. Now, days later, everything worked out. Okay, days later, through caring contact, everything worked out. It actually just feels like a miracle. But what I wanted to go back to was the story of how I got in a fight with someone. And that was from that was a different story. That was from a different place. Okay, this was a second event. And I didn't get my video done yesterday because I had to work through all the energies. And then at the end of the day, towards the end of the day, all the images got deleted from my computer, or the moving images. And I will have to recreate them. But anyway, but what I learned was to really look through how the energy flows, and that's when I realized that the triggering is coming from the past, that it subverts mental thinking and emotions, and it just goes straight to I was hurt. And then this takes over. And now here we are, where I'm feeling here all the pain and all the unconscious stuff. There's barely a light being brought. I barely have the ability to bring a light because now I'm in triggering. Okay, I'm in triggering. I'm speaking. I got triggered. I'm angry. I'm speaking from. I have actually pretty good control because, when you're angry, you can say things that are really hurtful that last for years. And I choose not to do that anymore. So I control myself, even if I'm in triggered anger. Okay, now I control myself, because I don't want to cause that damage. Okay, I've been there, done that. Don't want to do that now. But back to the triggering aspect, you see here it is, speaking from the throat. Okay, the fifth chakra in the throat, and here's the gray line. Okay, that's an astral energy here. That's an astral, and it's not white, it's gray. It's a little bit of blue, but okay, so I just wanted to explain quickly how that energy works, and I may do more in that, but then look what happens, okay? And why did all this this come up? It came up because of all the light that came through the last couple days, okay? And it brought up, it allowed us to go deeper. We had activation, clearing, activation, clearing, activation, clearing. Excuse me. And then in the calmness, I explained yesterday in yesterday's video, stuff starts to bubble up. There's an inner bubbling up and our next choice forms. But in the middle of that next choice forming, we can get triggered, okay? And then we act on that triggering based on where our consciousness is at. All of this leads us back to the cross and, in my view, a resurgence of Christianity, because it is a cross, okay? And a resurgence of the belief in God, the Most High, the creator of the universe. Now, some of you, I've talked about this in other videos, and if you've been listening, whoa. Oh, that was quite stunning. I was just about to say that if you have been listening for a while, you will know that I explain that you have to define who your God is. And the reason why is because there's a whole group of people that call God something than you think God is, different than you think God is. Okay, this is the upside down cross, people. Okay, this is the forces of darkness through human beings. This is the nature of the chaos crew and those human beings who have allied with the dark forces for whatever reason or incarnated that way. And in their religion, God is something different. And they are in every religion. Okay, they're in every organized religion, subverting and behind the scenes. And if one of them is speaking from the pulpit, and you don't know who anyone is, okay, but you have the ability to take responsibility in your life. Okay, so when I go to church, okay, if I go to church for the first time, to a new church, or if I'm going for the first time after a long time, I set the programming. When I am in this church, when I listen to this preacher talk, when I listen to this priest talk, okay, God is the Most High, the creator of the universe, okay, the source of all that is. And because, boy, I've talked about it in videos, but I have heard some interesting stuff in church, okay, including an invocation to the morning star, okay, including in church an invocation to align with the light of the morning star. What's the name of the morning star? Okay, it could be Venus, okay, I'll give you that, but it also, for some, could be Lucifer. And hence the barking dog, okay? Because that guy, apparently, he knew what was coming, and he's not in alignment, and neither am I. Okay, so declare who your God is. The other thing that I want to say here is that the current energies offer so much to us, and I just want to speak for a moment about the resurgence of Christianity. And I realize that not all of my viewers are probably Christian, but that's okay. Most of the people in the United States come from a Christian background, and that's who I'm addressing, and those who are open to talking about this. Because, you know what, I get to do that, and this is the thing that I loved about Ireland, okay, and being in Ireland. And in Ireland, when I was in Ireland, Ireland is a Christian Catholic country, okay? It's a Catholic country, and the majority of the Irish were so oppressed for literally centuries, okay? They had and blessings on all of this, but they had the English and the Dutch and whoever it was come in and just destroy all of their stuff, okay? All their castles, all their monasteries, some large percentage of them are destroyed. And but they kept their faith, okay? The Irish in the hundreds, and I'm talking about the hundreds AD, okay, after the birth of Christ, 400, 600, 800, the Irish went all over Europe proselytizing about the Bible. They would the monks would hand recreate the Bible. I learned this when I lived in Ireland. And, it just stirs my heart, thinking about it. I would walk down the street in Ireland, And I would be stunned that in the middle of town there was a cross from 600 AD. Okay, and I was standing there in front of it, and it wowed me. Okay, it just wowed me. What wowed me was, first of all, the long-term nature, the faith of the people was just imbued in the land, and their honoring of their faith carried through hundreds and hundreds of years. And you can even go back to their faith, their faith in Bridget, okay, the goddesses, and all the other Irish gods and goddesses that I don't know all the names of, but was blessed to learn about, but I don't remember all the names, that I remember Bridget. Okay, and their fate, I believe that one of the reasons that they were so oppressed for literally hundreds of years, okay, and then they had the Vikings come in the 1000s and 1100s. The Vikings came and stole their their women and killed the men, and again attacked. This was before the English came in, attacked their towers, their monasteries. Boy, what a tough gig, huh? And I think that one of the reasons they've had this fate, okay, is because of their faith. Because when you are a person of faith, you are tested. You are tested. And I want to talk more about this at another time, but God bless, all of us. And God bless us and the resurgence of faith, the reconnection with God, no matter what the name of the religion is, and most importantly, the reconnection that we have now, the opportunity to reconnect with our own soul, and to now fully embody this as a human being in our physical bodies and in our human energy field. But we are now in the times where you can embody the light and live fully and be and let that light shine, and no longer have the fear of covering that light. We are in a new stage. We are in a new place. And if you've been covering your light, please uncover it, because we need you. Please come out and act. Please start speaking. Please, clear those energies so that you can have that connection with soul, okay, which is of no religion, okay? It's a pure source, the creator of the universe, the creator incarnate through you. We need you. Turn yourself on. Flow it through. Come on, girl. Come on, guy. All right, let's get back to the chart. All right, what happens next? Okay, we get the shield of faith. Now, there's two ways to interpret this image: the shield of faith or attacks by dark forces. Why am I saying that? I'm going to go through each one of these. See here the mirror aspect of this shield, right? It creates so there's the one side, there's the middle, and then here's the other side. I explained earlier how there's sort of a mirror aspect here. It's not full, but it is present. Then you have the two lines on this side mirroring the two lines on that side. Slightly different, but same basic structure. And I called this the shield of faith. Okay, and look, it's grounded. Okay, it is grounded into the earth, ending in a cross right there. Okay, and we talked about there's also a cross here, right there. There's also a cross here. Okay, and then you have the forces of darkness on either side with their upside down crosses. Okay, so now how I want to interpret this red energy is the strength of our experience. Okay, now as we come out of the unconscious, okay, as we are willing to face the forces of darkness and address them, and that's a kind of spiritual warfare, but also as we're willing to view the shadow side of our personality and see what's there, even if it's hurtful, then guess what? We become stronger. And we can reclaim these energies as part of our shield of faith. Because now I don't need to use my anger and act out and just from a triggered place zap people or whatever happens in a space of sacred discharge. I'm going to just put that zap in the space of sacred discharge, imbued by the violet flame, convert those energies to a state of unconditional love. Okay, ask my higher self, my guides, the highest light, Archangel Michael, to do this for me. Now I can sense the anger coming on, and then I have my conscious awareness, my conscious desire to bring light to what's in my subconscious, that's here, and my faith, my conscious commitment, okay, because the cross goes into the alpha weight and almost possibly, it might be at 15 here, but anyway, it's definitely in the alpha brain waves. It's in our waking consciousness. So my conscious commitment to act out of faith, out of alignment with the highest good, out of connection with my soul to the best of my ability. And then I have my shield of faith with which I can face the darkness, both in myself, that I can feel the terrible emotions, I can face the terrible events that have happened in my life, I can face the betrayals and the tragedies, and I can overcome them in myself. I can get past this, I can get through this, I can carry on. Now I want to interpret this aspect here that I said, attacks by dark forces. Okay, there's also the element here. Can you see the monsters? Okay, see the monster face with the two horns? Okay, so there's not, the rest of this isn't very visible, but this one here, I can have this as part of my shield, or it can be a monster that I've now discovered in the darkness. And where is that face? It's in the unconscious layer of the brainwaves going into the subconscious here. Okay, and its body goes all the way definitely into the beta, into my waking, waking and working life. So at the very, very high levels, like I'm thinking, I'm alive, it's my day-to-day, I may have awareness of, now I'm addressing this as shadow force, I may have awareness of this, but the true depth of whatever an event was that's in my energy field that's covered over, okay, that's one of these, darker unseen areas in my unconscious or subconscious. Okay, the full impact of that I haven't seen yet, and it looks like a monster face, eye, nose, mouth. Now, it's not that scary of a monster, is it? And that's the thing. Once we've connected with, our soul, once we're, in prayerful connection with God, the Most High, the Creator of the universe, okay, once we are centered in a meditative state, okay, within, we've calmed our thoughts and emotions, okay, suddenly the monster isn't that scary anymore. And why is that? Because we've already reclaimed our power before facing the monster. Okay, we already reclaimed our power. Then when we bring the light of awareness to this, the monster, oh my God, maybe that's what this is. That's why I couldn't see another face. The monster disappears. The monster deconstructs. Okay, my fan went on and off there. Okay, so look, it deconstructs. Now it's a smaller range. Now it's deconstructed further, 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 further. Barely there. Barely there. God, isn't that interesting? Ooh, I just perceived that while we were talking. Dang, girl. Gosh, guy. This is pretty cool, huh? I know, I'm kind of a nerd. What can I say? So in Ephesians 6:13, the shield of faith is explained, and it's part of the armor of God. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. The journey of faith is an individual one, in however that is expressed for you. But we can have access to and use specific tools where we, from our center, in alignment with the divine within, bring conscious awareness to our thoughts and emotions, and we harness our own energies in co-creation and in alignment with the divine as we see it, through that soul-centered communication with the creator of the universe, with your soul, with the God force that enlivens your own physical form. We can use the tools of human energy to effect these things through us. And the more knowledge and awareness that we bring to how we can do this and how we can manage our own energy field, our own human energy gifted to us at our birth and gifted to us with free will, when we bring these into alignment with God as you see it, and I'm talking about the God of life, then great things can occur, miracles can happen, and all, no matter what the darkness is transmuted in the light to the highest good.